The courtroom feels like a living thing, filled with the rhythm of routine, the shuffle of papers, the hushed murmurs of waiting defendants and spectators, the occasional clearing of a throat. It's another busy day in Judge Caprio's courtroom, where time moves slowly, punctuated by the clink of the gavel, the rustle of legal pads, and the occasional scribbling of a pen. But then suddenly the tension breaks. A voice, sharp and full of anger, cuts through the air. "This is a joke! You don't know anything about my situation!" The defendant, a middle-aged man with wild eyes and a clenched jaw, stands with his arms flung wide. His words fly like arrows, sharp and biting, as though aimed directly at the judge's heart. His face is flushed, his chest heaving, and his eyes are wide with barely controlled rage. The courtroom falls silent, every eye turning toward the disruption. Judge Caprio, in contrast, is the picture of calm, his hands resting on the polished surface of the bench, fingers laced in a manner that betrays no sign of alarm. His gaze is steady, unwavering. It's not his first time handling an outburst. Around the room, the tension grows thick as uncomfortable glances are exchanged between the spectators. Some are frightened, others intrigued. A few even seem amused. The defendant's voice rings louder. "You can't just decide everything for me." The judge remains unmoved, his expression calm, almost detached, while the room around him seems to tighten like a drum. The defendant's anger doesn't subside. Instead, it builds like a storm gathering strength. His words grow more desperate, accusations tumbling out in a flurry. "You think you can just make decisions about me? About my life? Who are you to judge me?" His voice rises, the harshness cutting through the silence, causing murmurs to ripple through the crowd. There are those who squirm uncomfortably, shifting in their seats as the defendant's frustration swells to a near breaking point. Judge Caprio doesn't flinch. His fingers tap once, twice against the gavel, a small gesture, but one that commands attention. The sound is like a signal, a quiet command that cuts through the cacophony. With deliberate slowness, he raises the gavel. "Order!" The word is simple, but it lands with authority, cutting through the rising chaos like a sword through water. The room holds its breath, and for a moment, time seems to freeze. The defendant falters, his anger hanging in the air like smoke. The murmurs die down. Everyone waits, as if on the edge of something. Judge Caprio doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't need to. The weight of his presence is enough. He doesn't need to yell, to demand respect. His calm is his power. "Enough," he says, his voice firm, but not raised. The gavel falls with a sharp crack, the sound ringing out like a final note in a symphony. The courtroom, once thick with tension, now stands still. The defendant, who moments ago seemed like a storm ready to explode, now stands frozen. His chest heaves, his fists still clenched, but his words falter in his throat. The crowd shifts uncomfortably, unsure of what to expect next. But no one speaks. No one moves. The judge's composure has commanded the room's complete attention. The defendant, thrown off by the sheer calmness of the judge's presence, takes a step back. His hands begin to shake, his chest still heavy with the anger he can no longer express. The power in the room has shifted, not through force but through silence. The defendant's outburst begins to fade. The anger that had once consumed him now feels almost childish. A deep, slow breath escapes his lips as his shoulders slump. He no longer has the strength to continue the fight. The weight of his own emotions crashes down on him. The courtroom, still silent, watches as he lowers his gaze. His defiance has left him, replaced by a creeping sense of shame. His hands, once clenched in anger, now hang loosely by his sides. He's no longer the loud, angry man who stormed into the courtroom. The realization hits him hard. His anger was a mask, a defense against the deeper feelings he couldn't express. He begins to shake his head as if trying to rid himself of the bitterness that clung to him. His voice is softer now, almost quiet, as he mutters an apology under his breath. Judge Caprio watches the defendant carefully, his gaze steady. The room, once a battlefield, has quieted, but the air still vibrates with the remnants of tension. "We are here to find justice, not to make scenes," the judge says, his tone still calm but with an edge of finality. The defendant nods, his posture more relaxed now, though the shame lingers in his eyes. The judge looks at him, not with judgment, but with understanding. The storm has passed, and in its wake, a subtle peace settles over the room. The judge raises his gavel once more. The sound echoes through the courtroom, final and decisive. Respect isn't demanded. It's earned through composure. The court resumes its proceedings, and as the doors close behind the defendant, there's a quiet sense of order restored.